Sustainability Committee, March 11th, 2026, 6:30 p.m. Approval of minutes. Any
Move to
changes?
accept the minutes as written.
Second.
All
Any
in favor?
corrections?
Any corrections? No. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Minutes from last time is approved.
If I could ask, what is a quorum for our size group? 4. Okay, thank you.
So we have.
Hello,
Hello.
how's it going?
Good, good. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll pass that. I was going to take notes.
No, I appreciate it. Sorry for coming in right on the.
You're on time.
Anyone?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, anyone here? No one is here for public comments. Action items? We don't have any action items. We can move on. Discussion items?
I think we need to
Committee.
change on the agenda, strike the word committee.
Committee goals,
Committee,
I think it's just
committee
goals.
goals.
I think we want to not use the word committee.
Yeah.
subcommittee. Committee's okay, because this is a committee.
Oh, I see, the whole
The whole committee goals.
Oh, I
Oh, yeah.
got
This
it.
is about the committee, the whole committee goals, not individual.
got
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, that is
Sorry.
true. Committee goals, updates. We had
But I
talked
like-
about
I
it.
like the way you're thinking.
Yes, we had talked about it actually last time or last to last time. We had talked about it that we should go ahead and revisit our goals and so it will help us in moving forward. And I would like to go ahead and talk about it. Should we start? I will have to go back to our mission statement. And
What are we doing?
Well, we really don't have that on the agenda to talk about this time, Rita.
okay, we don't. Okay.
We could
Well,
put that on it for next time.
all right. Is that okay with everybody?
What did she recommend?
Reviewing the goals.
Review our goals.
Yeah, for sure.
We had talked about it, and it's not there in the agenda, but we should keep in mind that we should. And before we come to the meeting, maybe we should go and look back on our mission statement and goals almost 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago.
I'll put that down for next
Yes,
time.
please, yes. So let's do that. It will help us in planning ahead of time.
I do have,
Goal updates.
is there any update with the Girl Scout?
National-
Yeah, the Girl Scouts gave away 100 bags with the sign-up on STEM night at Clemson Elementary. They said they had a nice response, had a lot of people talking about like they wanted to sign up. I went and checked several times this week, nobody yet. We're still sitting at 135 out of 200, but 100 bags is a lot, and it was a really good effort, and the city's been posting some stuff about it, and I think they're going to put their brochure up and everything, so they're not done, and they're looking to do the educational component and try to finish that out too.
I need to know something. I just wanted to ask you. How are we relating to Clemson University for this National Wildlife Certification? Are we
Other than
pushing?
we can kind of, I think they have several areas that are National Wildlife certified, and I think we have some of them on our list.
Yeah, but how about publicizing with people, with the groups?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. We can approach somebody who is maybe Andrew going back to Andrew and ask him that if he, because I know sustainability, it's not called committee, believe, or it is still committee, Clemson University, and they are having, as you said, that information. I have registered for that, and I'll go there and I'll try to, maybe we should have something to talk about it. Makes sense?
You're talking about the student night or day in April where students present their sustainability projects.
And there are many.
That is happening. But that would be students who don't necessarily, I mean, some students own a home and have a habitat, but most of them don't.
There are professors too, and there are groups too. They have they have on-site table, and they do their presentation, and there are groups also who are doing projects related to environmental sciences and other media. So maybe we can try something like that. At least we can try, go flyer or something. Some kind of, if somebody is available, we can ask again Andrew to help us out and maybe put a table there.
Well, you
Talk
have a
about it.
flyer still, right, Bob, that we've used?
Well, yeah, I do. I
And it
don't
says-
know if it's been National Wildlife Federation approved, but it could be edited enough
Yeah.
that it wouldn't make any difference. It wouldn't make it, it'd probably take off their logo is what.
Yeah, and that's what we had talked about, that we can take out their logo and then just do it as our commission activity. Can we do that?
We can, I mean, that's how effective it would be reaching residents, I'm not sure, because that's really what we're looking for at this point, is,
Later in the agenda, there's things about using the farmers market tables. I think that's going to be more
Yeah.
appropriate to.
Definitely farmers market table, we have talked about it.
that was all I had for National Wildlife, unless anyone else has anything.
All right, someday we'll reach our goal. We'll keep on working and someday lots of new neighborhoods are coming in Clemson, so we can definitely target those. Hopefully, I don't know, they have very small yard. They just decided that, one of the neighborhood in my back, they said that, no, you can't even put flowers in that neighborhood because we come and we spray, we kill everything, so they're not encouraging any of those things. So that's something to think about in the city when they give permit. They should not be. HOA is just very strict. I was trying to find out. HOA is so strict that you can't put any flower even in your backyard because they come and do the yard work. And then spray. No. So, well, next is energy efficiency.
That's item B, so I don't have anything else.
Okay. Natural resources?
Without Andrew, I think nobody's really taken that one up.
Okay. Can we think about it any next time, if anybody has any idea what we can do about it? Maybe we should try to recruit somebody from Clemson University.
I think some of that kind of ties into the low impact.
Okay. Yeah, that is true. We can move to next item, discuss low impact and environmental sustainability guidelines. How can the Sustainability Advisory Committee have an impact on city efforts to prepare a unified development ordinance? Eunice Bob and Cindy's not here, so you guys can go ahead.
So Eunice, Cindy, and I, we got this handout. Oh, I need to give Robert or Bob a copy.
Thank you.
Oh,
Oh, wait, no, I have one.
oh,
I have
you
that.
have one?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's down here.
So on this handout, the first page is kind of a broad recommendation that our committee could take to city council, as our charge is advisory to city council, but we could also, I think, take it to the planning commission, and then probably, we've already had one meeting with some of the staff about low impact objectives and also other environmental objectives for this says this be primarily for commercial sites, but it could also impact residential as the city goes along. I think the recommendation, I mean, you could read it, I mean, telling the city council to instruct the planners. The planners, who are the planners? I'm beginning to think it's the city staff that has the biggest role. The staff brings things to planning commission or I don't know, there's a adjustment board, some things. So like at city council, I mean, at the planning commission Monday night, I was there, and there was some new business coming in at the corner of Skyview Drive and 123, and I said, I hope there's no entrance or exit to this drive-through coffee shop. And the planning council says, no, that's not part of our business. That's some other committee's business.
Board of Architectural Review.
Board of Architectural Review. And so how these things perk up to city council, I think they come through different advisory groups. So anyway, the thought is that we were motivated by these environmental guidelines that the city of Mount Pleasant developed. And so they're very stringent and cover a lot of things. And that would be a reasonable model, but how Clemson comes up with it, maybe this could be reworded a little stronger in terms of how we would like to have it, how we would suggest it get done. And so there's a simple paragraph about an objective. There's 3 guiding principles that are listed there. Those could be reviewed. I mean, Eunice and I kind of talked about it just last night and added a little bit to the first one, but so the other ones. And then there are, we suggest that there be specific criteria, that is eligibility, which areas is it? I mean, I can't tell you the coding. There must be a dozen or 20 different codes for different areas in the city. So who these guidelines would apply to. I mean, we kind of think it's primarily commercial, but moving to residential, I think it gets more political.
So the idea of discussing this, and it says draft at the top, circle that, is that we want to be able to say not Eunice is bringing this to city council, but that the sustainability committee is bringing it. So interrupt us periodically and ask questions. But what we're suggesting is some form of this document be taken to perhaps both the city council and the planning commission soon, like in the next month or so, because the planning commission is currently working on a unified development ordinance, sort of what Bob just said. There's this rule over here and that rule over there and that rule over there, and so developers have to refer to all these different ordinances, and they're already working to bring it into a unified plan. But that unified plan, this is Bob's and my supposition, and Cindy's, we are learning just like you are, so we might be wrong, but it is our understanding that that's just the current codes, and what we want to do is add some things more sustainable. So these 4 areas. So as you know, we already have things. Number 1, protect, restore, conserve, and expand Clemson's tree canopy. So if you were to turn to the next page where we flesh that out a bit, the top 3, I think, are in the code already. We're not suggesting rewriting that, changing that in any way, leaving it as is, but we put in a few other things. I got these from certainly Mount Pleasant, but several other cities that have these kind of things. So if you were to just look at the tree canopy, that's the one area. The developers, whether they're developing a hotel or the redesign of the Ramada Inn or putting in a neighborhood like Patrick Square, which is multiple houses, they'd be required already to do this tree canopy retention and pay a fine if they don't, and,
Right.
you know, they get some points. But they also get points for doing some of these other things, okay? And the same is true for preserve and improve ecosystem biodiversity and protect water resources. So if you look at 1 through 4, I think, those are already required. But 5 through 12, what if they could certify as a natural wildlife habitat? What if they could do, so irrigation conservation practices is like putting in septic tanks under each house or apartment, or, you know, using that for watering. Floating wetland is probably not so, but that's taking the you know, the thing that's a pond, the flood prevention, and making a wetland. So not that the developer would have to do any of those things, but offering more incentives to do some other things. So that's true in each area. So to improve community livability, we already have pet waste station, pond vegetative buffer. We are already encouraging them to put power lines under. So the first several, I think, down to bicycle amenities and a cat bus. But then 7 through 20 are from other cities that we don't necessarily have here. We've already talked about, for example, put in EV chargers. You all might know the university has a smart parking technology. I don't know if that's helpful, but I put in trail connectivity like Green Crescent Trail, right? Put signs and put that in there. Or if it, like this new development on the lake, what if they had a kayak or canoe rental or repair station for bikes or such things? So the idea would be that they could gain points by doing these things, and there'd be a required number of points in each of the 4 categories. There'd be a fine if you didn't, so let's say it's 25 points per category. You get only 20, you pay a fine. You get 40 because you did more of them. Maybe you can say, therefore I want an extra, I don't know, story or an extra.
That's what I was going to ask, that what incentive are you talking about? What kind of incentive?
And we're not gonna discuss that here tonight, but developers already come to the city and say, I wanna do this.
Okay.
And the plans that we looked at provide some of those incentives. So it's not that we can't come up with a list of incentives, but we haven't done that. But the key thing would be the minimum. You got to get 25 points. You can get it however you want, right? And then in the last is the promote energy efficiency and sustainable materials. So again, the first several, for example, we don't allow septic tanks. You got to do sewer, right? Those are all, I think the 1 through 6 are then, and then we added the ones that we found there. There's quite a few that goes to 29. But it's things like really efficient heat pumps or recycling materials. If you tear down a building, recycle some of it, right on site, or no gas hookups or whatever. And obviously you can go as far as LEED certified or solar, which would be worth more points. Quite clearly, putting in a few animal nesting boxes is worth less than putting solar on your roof. But
Do you have any incentive for solar?
Yeah, it's on the last one.
It is, yeah.
We have neither, so Mount Pleasant assigned points, we did not consider ourselves smart enough to do that. What the points would be, what the incentives would be. But the question we're asking is, would you be willing to say, yes, the sustainability recommends something like this? So obviously, like the last one, I've got 29 items. Maybe they'll pick only 20 of those, right? The staff or the planning commission. Or I said 25 points, maybe they'll pick 10 points. I mean, I'm not talking about the numbers or the incentives. But my concern is that we require developers to put in 2 bike racks, but we don't say anything about the wildlife habitat. Or we require you save all the trees, but we don't say anything about that they're native trees, right? So, so that's why I'm interested in doing this.
So is this document which you have in your hand, this one, is it something which can be presented? As you're saying, we should go before the soon enough, or we need to?
Well, the first step would be that, so I probably would present it if the committee didn't want to. So the first step is, would the committee like to present something like this, and what would the process be? Would you like to have a month to look it over and we talk about it at the next meeting? I would prefer not to do that simply because I know that this unified plan is already going, you know how many things we've done and found out, oh, we did it
It's
3
already
months
done,
too
yeah.
late. So it is already in the hands of the planning commission, the unified plan. And it doesn't have things like solar in it or nesting boxes or wildlife habitat, right? It just has nothing more than 3 stories, right? So, so I'd like to present it as a draft to both the planning commission, the city council, and the individuals we think are significant on the city staff. So Nathan Woods, Ethan, Jacob, and
Yeah.
who's the third guy?
On the plan,
Jeremiah, not Jeremiah, no,
in planning?
The
no.
fellow who didn't meet with us, but who we first thought we were going to meet with.
No, not him, not him.
Not him?
I'll
Because I
check.
thought you said he was the most environmentally
He's the
informed.
solar guy.
Oh, he's the solar guy.
He's the one, Stacy. But it's the guy, who did we meet with? You and me
We met
and
with we met
Ethan.
with Jacob and
Jacob,
Ethan. and we really
Nathan
need-
Woods,
we-
Nathan
Nathan
Woods.
is the one we probably need to meet with.
Yeah. So we thought present it to
But-
those 3 staff, the planning commission and the city council, in each case say, we're suggesting something like this.
And we want soon enough,
Well-
we want soon enough before our next meeting.
Eunice, Cindy, and I have already met with, and Tony, met with those staff people once. I think we can still do that on our own and just bring back their feedback.
If you wanted a committee decision, we would have to wait and do a action item and a vote for
Yeah.
next. If you were just to go ahead and do it, as Eunice.
Yeah, as an individual, you're saying, as opposed to a recommendation by the committee, yeah.
Well, so Rob and John and Rita, what do you think of this idea? That's why we're here. Do you like this? Do you think it's too complex?
Well, no, it's not too complex. It's taken from somewhere, so it's like, and as you said, that many of the items has been all being implemented, and they're asking. and you
About a
hide
third
it.
of them.
Yeah,
About a
it's
third.
about part of it.
Is in the codes, right? So if
Yeah.
you were to read the Mount Pleasant plan, it'll say the code number in it. right?
Okay,
So about a third of them are
So,
in the codes,
In our codes.
in Clemson City
Yeah.
codes. The first several in each list.
so let's first of all identify all the items which are being already, let's start with those.
We've
Yeah.
already done that.
Okay.
We have that.
Yeah, so you have that, and
Yeah.
for our, I think for our also convenience, maybe we'll circle it already in there, and then we can,
Well, I can tell you that, so 1 to 3 in the first group, 1 to,
which page are you on?
1 to 3 in the first group, right, Tony? 1, 2, and 3 in the second group.
To be clear, the tree canopy,
Tree canopy.
the wording create, let's see, hold on. Protect, restore, conserve, expand. That is in the public tree ordinance, so that's for trees on public, that wording is for the trees on public property. I'm not sure that wording is in the canopy requirement for developments.
But if I put in something like Patrick Square, it's in there.
No, this wording is just for the public tree ordinance. That's the only place that I recognize that wording.
Which
I'm-
one? Tree
the-
canopy retention, tree canopy?
Yeah, the conserve and expand.
Well, that's just a title, that's not an ordinance, but tree canopy retention is required if you put in a development like Patrick Square.
Yes, there is a tree canopy requirement. I'm trying to be careful about how they word it, do you know what I mean?
And we're not suggesting this wording, this is a draft. So the idea would be to give it to somebody and put the code citations and write the things in and say, this only applies to whatever hotels and this applies to.
Right.
Right, I mean, we are not trying to suggest to the city rewrite it our way, right? But the first 3 are in there somewhere. In area 2, 1 through
3, you said?
3, the third area, 1 through 6,
All 6 of those.
All of them.
Okay.
and it's sort of indented. And the fourth area, you see that's indented too.
Yep.
And my sense is that the city needs to put together a new committee or somebody who's got expertise and can develop these objectives. Because it's questioned.
Like what the
is it
code would
public?
actually be.
Yeah, and where does it fit? Is it just public, or is it, where, this is, came up, or is there some residential private that applies to? I mean, it's a big task.
Well, so the way we wrote this, it's only for either new development or new, I bought it and I'm changing it. Like, so what's happening with Best Western, right? That's being torn down and rebuilt. It's not for, I've owned my home for 20 years, has no effect on me. Or I have the sleep in over there and I've had it for 10 years, has no effect on that. It's only for building something in Clemson or redeveloping something.
Somewhere I stuck a phrase in that I need to correct, and I don't know exactly where it's at.
And we also talk about only if it's over 1 acre. So you buy, across the street from me, there's a piece of property, it's half an acre. Somebody could build a house there, wouldn't apply to that either. It's just a small house. So not for any of that small stuff, only for, which isn't that many things, as you know, most of Clemson is occupied.
Yeah, I mean, that
Like
was gonna be my question was
that
like, how much
9-story building going on in Riggs.
we actually think we would be impacted by
Well,
this?
so people keep coming and building stuff
Yeah,
here. So.
yeah.
It's almost built out, but whatever was built from this point out, at least, and then there are going to be, in the future, these places are not going to last forever. Some of them seem rather temporary, so they will be renovated. And when they are renovated, this could apply
Yeah.
If it got written that way.
if it got.
It could be written only, so somebody who knows more than we know would decide, this is only for new buildings, this is for renovation. So I'm not suggesting we understand.
And staff historically has developed the ordinances and then presented the ordinances.
Yeah, so Monday night at the Planning Commission, an updated ordinance for development in commercial and mixed-use properties. I think it focused on remaining properties along College Avenue and parts of Highway 93. I'm not sure if Highway 3 from Central to across to the lake or exactly where
There's a
that pertained
9-story
to.
building going on
But
in the Riggs.
it had to do, I mean, it had a lot to do with height restrictions. And so there was a lot of discussion about that. The Planning Commission accepted these were new codes, so it'll go to the City Council to approve. At the end, I said something like, well, the comprehensive plan says that sustainability and resilience got to be covered in everything. And I said, nobody said anything about sustainability. And I said, you know, my thought was, this refers to protecting our natural environment. And so they turned it over to Nathan, and his comment was, by building higher density residential properties, we are preserving other lands for the natural environment.
Only if we protect them.
Well, I
But
didn't say that.
I think Bob's point is that was quite a simple way to understand that sustainability was in there, and we mean more than that.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
position is it's way more than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I
especially
really
'cause-
can't speak to planning because I'm not in that department. I can only tell you what little bit I know,
Yeah.
and which is very little.
That's good.
Yeah,
So
well.
we, yeah,
I was going to say, especially since it's future promises against the current impact.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you're impacting right now, there needs to be a corollary trade-off,
Right.
Right.
and not someday we'll do nice things.
And also, will do nice things isn't specifics like this. Like, you could put in nesting boxes, you could do a critical buffer restoration, you could do a pollinator garden, you could do irrigation, it's very, so we took out, I had a much longer document, Bob said it was too long.
But to your
And I
question,
had each of these points fleshed out in some detail, but the point is, if we want sustainability in everything, we say to developers, you gotta do one of these, and we would give them a book, right, that says, this is what I mean by irrigation conservation practices, as much as 2 points, as much as 3 points, as much as 4 points, right? And so that you're required to put one of these in, you're not required to put all of these in, that type of thing.
So you want to, this,
I'm sorry.
no, that's okay, go ahead.
No, you started first.
No, I said that our here discussion is that this committee should approve this thing or go ahead, make it an item that we are, make it a recommendation from our committee. So one
Well,
of
so
you can go.
tonight, I want you to say, are we on the right track here? Is this where you want to go with this to get our goals?
Our
Get more
goals.
energy efficiency, save natural resources? Is this the way you want
That's
to go
what
about
I'm
that? Or shall we pitch this and do it a different way? And then, yes, of course, at some point, we could approve some sort of a draft and set up some meetings and take it to city council, yes.
Well, if we are if, as you said, the urgency is important, it's a factor to consider, and we need to do it before our next meeting, then we'll have to work on this whole draft.
Only if you like.
No, we can, we can just, you can just charge that we'll have an action item the next meeting to approve something similar to this document.
Right,
In the
a more
meantime-
final version of this.
More final
Yeah,
version. In
more.
the meantime, everybody can review it,
Yeah,
send Tony messages to send to us.
yeah. So
well,
I think,
not being as familiar with how Clemson operates, and maybe naively so, when the city adopts, when we hire consultants, and then we do all these community outreach, come get your feedback, and then the consultants come back with this thing, and then the city seems to adopt a master comprehensive plan. Where's the missing link to take the language that was already built in there originally about sustainability and just to say, oh, wow, that triggers codes, that triggers this.
Yes.
I thought city already said sustainability was important.
Yeah, and so this is a recommendation of how do you move forward? How we see how they move forward.
yeah, I understand. As a commission, how we should move forward to get these are the, and actually when you look at it, this is what we are supposed to, this is our goal. This is our agenda, this is how we are, and our job is to make the recommendations. Now, in which form, this form, or do we want a little bit more technically putting codes and all those things? It's up to all of our members, how do you want to move with this thing? And we can wait, or you can, as you said, that you can, as an individual also you can go, but I think as a committee, we should.
It just, again, it feels to me like if this was truly a city priority, then staffing would be I'm not a professional in this. I can give lots of opinions and thoughts from different places I live. But folks on staff who work day in, day out with stuff, it seems like, if the master comprehensive plan says sustainability is a priority.
Yeah, you're saying why isn't it already in there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, because you go to a meeting and one of our staff members says, oh, we're doing sustainability, we're building high-density developments downtown.
Right.
That's what
You're
they're
asking to
considering.
expand the scope.
I'm asking the staff
Yeah.
and the committee, so city council and planning commission, to understand some more grainy nature
Right.
to sustainability. Sustainability is more than high rises downtown. Hopefully, something will happen outside of town.
Yeah.
I'm asking for, so I'm pretty sure the city's already going this direction, so there has been tremendous pushback from the high rises going in downtown. And so there's getting to be more and more about you can only be 3 stories high. So I think the city's already going towards capping development.
Yeah.
So while they're doing that anyway, I want to put in Put solar on the roof.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, do we
The
need to?
comprehensive plan is like this general statement, but it's not a strategy.
It's not prescriptive.
It's not prescriptive. This, what you're talking about suggesting, takes that comprehensive general idea
Yeah.
that says sustainability and gives it a strategy.
With points and
With
penalties and rewards.
Yes.
And obviously, somebody would have to write the incentives.
Right,
Yep.
yeah.
So at this point,
Somebody on the city side, or no, somebody in this group would.
I don't think we're capable of
Yeah,
that,
I
although we
would argue the
got
same thing.
this
I mean, I could-
by researching other cities.
Right, right,
So we could.
Right.
I mean, Dobb even has a list of incentives.
yeah.
That we came up with, but my
Well, you-
experience with incentives with developers in the city is they come in saying, I want X. Can I have that? And they always get it. And so what we're doing, I shouldn't say always, they often get it. I'm sorry, this is recorded. I don't know what they always get. But often the developers get the incentive they ask for. And so we're sort of saying, you want an incentive? Here's 50 things you could do. Put solar on the roof and we might be generous to you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of the, oddly, coincidentally, maybe this was intentional, but like, coincidentally enough, a lot of these items are probably incorporated into something beyond LEED certified anyways, right? Like using recycled material or putting on solar or doing,
Yes.
you know, tree canopy, like whatever. Like the higher level you go in LEED, you're definitely hitting more and more and more of these.
Right.
You know, so it's almost sort of like sure, you could pursue LEED certified or silver or gold or platinum, which would hit all of these things or several of them as well, or you could pick and choose, right?
And not do LEED certified.
And not do LEED, because
Yeah.
that has its own administrative cost.
And LEED certified would certainly get you tons of points.
Totally.
With that.
Totally.
Just like putting on solar, whereas putting in animal nesting boxes, that should get you very few points.
Right,
But it'd
right.
still be a good thing.
Right, totally, yeah.
can we, is it possible, Tony can answer this question that I was thinking that as you're saying, we need to know, is it possible that we can sit with this document with somebody in the city?
We did
Some
already.
staff already, you have done already.
We
and
did
they have
that,
helped you, and that
and
was-
they told us what they have and what
yeah,
they don't
that I
have.
remember that we.
We did that already.
Yeah, and we already went through
Okay,
that.
so,
So what we're
So you-
suggesting next
the one
is
which
that
is-
we go to the city council, the planning commission, and back to the same staff and say,
Same staff,
okay,
okay, we got
here's some ideas, whose job is it to write this up? I'm pretty sure if we say to the planning commission, here's our idea for fulfilling sustainability while you're planning, they'll say, great, what are you gonna do? They're not gonna take it up and do it. They'll say,
Okay.
thank you very much, we'll put this in our notebook, and it'll never be touched again, right? Which is why, I don't know that, again, I'm speculating.
No, yeah, totally.
But we think that it's gonna be some staff member who's gonna have to take this on and find out, well, this is this code, and this is a ridiculous suggestion, take it out. And when we talk to staff members, they tell us, and I'm sure this is true, that they already are doing quite a lot, and they don't need another job, right?
Yeah, they're already
They're all quite overloaded.
burdened, yes.
But we are advisors, it's not our job to do it either, of that I'm certain.
so then what's the best way, I mean, we discussed that they're already doing it, many things. If we add something extra, they don't, it's not their job. Somebody said, I just said that we are doing it more than enough. If
Planning
somebody's
people can say
planning,
it's not my
yeah,
job.
it's not my, so what's the best solution we can, come up with to make this thing noticed and make this thing as our recommendation seriously considered? That's what we want. That's how we can really get attention for these things. We can, as you said, that we can go to the meeting and then definitely maybe work with one staff, one person that, okay, these are the items we want to really incorporate in your planning and seriously not putting this in a folder and we'll look at it and then forget about it. So
My
probably that's-
recommendation, the best we can do, is for everybody to review this, bring it to
Next meeting?
the next meeting, and
Okay. And get a,
So far, it's Cindy and Eunice and I, but if everybody reviews it, sends recommendations, maybe there'll be an action item that will come out that can be on the agenda for the next meeting.
yeah.
And I'm sure we'll continue to work with anybody we know.
Ideally, you're saying though that the action item is that we've baked this cake and we're now going to take it to the next planning committee meeting and ask them to incorporate it into, into this preparation of a unified development ordinance? With that they're already doing, right? And we're just saying we want you to include, or we want you to consider including these things?
Yes.
Yeah.
Consider it
Well,
possibly already,
I-
so. Because that's exactly what our job is.
Yeah, as opposed to you as an individual of a city of Clemson coming and saying,
Exactly.
ignore the fact that I sit on the sustainability committee, I'm asking for you to consider this.
Yeah, so
Instead,
we
it's
should-
actually, it's a sustainability committee
We could do it
endorsement
as individuals.
recommendation.
We could do that
Yeah,
as
no, sure,
individuals.
but like, maybe, you're right,
Yeah.
yeah, sure, but so could every
Everybody.
city, every member, every,
That's
yeah,
right,
sorry,
that's right.
every
So my thought
citizen
was,
of town.
I mean, we are advisory to city council.
Right,
We send this to city council as a recommendation to move forward, putting together environmental guidelines for development. And then we've taken this to city council. We can go as individuals and tell the planning commission, or we can go to the staff and try to get feedback and build. I just wonder in terms of the statement of our role. It just says advisory to city council.
yeah.
And then it says community, spread the information amongst the community. And so I don't know if we should send this committee recommends the planning commission do something, just authority-wise.
Oh,
I don't know if we have that authority, is what I'm saying.
I don't think we're saying
We
I
are
don't know
just-
that it's a recommendation so much that it's a request to consider. That's right. Like, I mean, maybe the terminology is really important.
Yeah.
To your point, to not have it come off as if we're somehow trying to demand that they do something that in their eyes they believe they're already doing beyond what they believe would be more than reasonable.
Yeah, so Robert, I mean, both of you, we will remember that we are just advisory committee.
Yeah.
So this is fine. So whatever we are putting there, they know that we are just advising.
Yeah.
We're not demanding, or we are not doing
Right.
such thing. I mean, within their power or within their possibility, they can really look at it and try to implement. I mean, because everybody wants this city to be nice city to live in, with all the perks of energy and nice environmental outlets and things which we are talking about. So they will understand. So this is what we are supposed to do, and that's what we are doing. So
Yeah.
it won't be as a demanding thing. Yeah,
I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I think I genuinely think it's a good idea. I think if we can give builders, developers, remodelers more optionality when it comes to implementing sustainability practices in building and property design, makes way more sense than a short list of things. And they're not, I mean, it's highly likely that unless you go to a really specialized sustainability development design firm whose emphasis is really, trying to incorporate all these things, I'm sure that many planners, developers, they just want to build the building for as little money as possible.
Yeah.
For the greatest return, whatever, right? And so this is, I don't know, I feel like it's.
These are all very low-cost items we are talking about.
Many
actually.
of them.
Many of them.
Obviously
Without-
not solar.
Definitely not solar.
That's what I was going to comment, only solar and putting up this charger. So those are the big items, but rest of the things are very low-cost items. We just need to be pointed out or bring it to attention. That's all probably
Yeah.
requires.
Well, do you-
And if you,
Yeah.
so,
Do you want me to, so there's a longer document that includes what each of these means, so it has the intent and the criteria from, do you want to see the longer document between now and next week?
How much longer is it?
Well, it's
How many
10
pages? Does it give me an
it's
idea?
10 pages instead of
Okay,
4.
that's not that bad. That's fine. I would love to see all.
Would you like to see the longer?
so yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely for our purpose. But remember that when we are doing the
These are things from
presentation,
Mount Pleasant
Yeah, no, I get it.
Well,
Does the
not
award
all
system
of
already
them.
exist?
here.
Yeah.
Now, I don't,
Does the what exist?
Is there an award system or an incentive system that already exists?
No.
No.
I mean,
well, they give incentives now, but I don't know how organized they are.
there are some things that have incentives in the city, but I don't know what they are. I can't answer.
so we need to know
But there's
that.
no like,
No system.
again, like help just in my understanding of this over the last month. You can't build downtown as just an example. You can't build a building above 3 stories, period. Right?
No, I mean, there's several of them, there's 6 or 7 now.
Oh,
And I think on the
Okay.
Riggs Drive, they're building 9
so
story.
how did those buildings get built?
They-
After a lot of people came here, so the developer came and said, I want to build 7 stories, I'll do this, I'll put a park in, right?
Okay.
They did it through a
And
planned development.
then all the people who lived nearby came to the city council and said, the ordinance says this,
Yeah.
you're doing this, and I'm opposed to it.
Okay.
And then the city council passed it anyway.
Okay.
They did it through what they call a planned development. And so they took it out of it's a
Straight zoning.
straight zoning to a different,
And like Eunice said, on those planned developments, they will have a couple of items that would benefit the city, whether it's a commercial element or a park or a green space. There's things that will qualify you for a planned development, and then you can avoid straight zoning.
Okay.
That's as much as I understand.
Okay.
But sometime, again, I'll display ignorance. I had thought that like one of those promises was the first floor was going to be built out commercial, but it was never occupied. And then whatever the penalty was, the developer, I don't know what it was, but obviously it wasn't enough to make them follow through on
Right.
street level commercial.
We
That's-
have a number
that's
of
an-
buildings more than 3 stories that have commercial on street level, and the entire commercial area is empty.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
That's so awful.
Yeah.
That's awful. What the heck?
build it and they will
I'm
come.
sorry, that sucks.
Build it, they will
That's
Well,
a
and
bummer.
the reason it's empty, as far as I understand, is the rent is just too high. Brand new
Right.
building, I can get a cheaper store somewhere else.
Right.
Which again, to me, factors back into the whole promised benefits versus responsibilities.
Right.
That's the developer's fault.
Right. So is this though then trying to like not circumvent, but avoid a planned development redirect?
I think the city is in the process of getting rid of those planned developments that
Okay.
the citizens have
'Cause they don't like-
been very mad
Yeah.
about. And I think
Yeah.
that's gonna happen with or without us, but while they're doing that anyway,
Yeah.
I wanna put in more than, well, we're building high rises downtown, right?
Yeah.
So it seems to me that if we could get this off the ground in April,
Yeah.
or perhaps May,
Yeah.
and not December,
No,
then,
definitely
then we might be able to get some of these things in there.
And
And what we are not asking you to do, although feel free to do this, is wordsmith all of this, because none of this, and I'm sure there's things you could correct and improve, but none of this will stay the way it is.
Sure.
Somebody who does the code will turn it into a form that actually could be law, and this won't be. These are
But you
just
don't
suggestions.
believe doing that now builds a stronger case for them accepting it?
Accepting. I do think doing it now while they're doing it anyway, while they're getting rid of plan development and making more stringent rules, just adding a few things is easier than starting next year and saying, now that you just did a unified plan, here's another unified plan. I think this is the right timing.
Yeah.
That's what we learned when we met with the city staff.
So maybe it will be a good idea to prioritize, since we have so many items, some of them are already being implemented, and some of them, maybe we can prioritize some of the items when they're, as you said, that they're already building, they're already in the process of doing it, and they can, while they're doing it, they can push these things. So maybe should we prioritize some of the items?
I mean, sure, feel free to say, I really like this, but I think that it's sort of what Rob said, we're providing a menu.
Yeah.
So we're not saying, we really want you to do national wildlife thing, although we do. We're also okay with putting in bee pollinator and all native plants, right? That would also be excellent.
So that's what I'm saying, that, as you said, so this can be put in a prioritized number, okay? This is the first of the recommendation which we would, really like to see that, but, but moving forward, these are other, as I said, low-cost things which you can include while you're, doing this certain thing.
Well,
already.
From a 30,000-foot view, years ago, down in Hilton Head, Shelter Cove Mall was redeveloped. And they made it profitable for the developer. They made it so that they had public space along the inland waterway, playground areas, walkways, bike paths for the public.
Yep.
Then they had restaurants that overlooked the waterfront, and then they had their heavy Kroger by 278 freeway. So it was a development that made them money, that made the residents happy, that served the whole community.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what we're trying to entice developers. It's not an either or. You either make money or you do the right thing.
Right.
It's like, you can do both, just
Yeah.
put your minds to it.
And you don't even have to come up with ideas, we've got a menu here. So that's why I think prioritizing is not necessary. And they already do come into the city and say, I have this idea, and some of those happen. I mean, on the list is your idea. Somewhere it says, any creative idea you have.
Right, yeah,
Is
I
one
think the
of them.
prioritizing actually would disenfranchise a developer as opposed to just giving them the list and saying,
Pick and choose.
yeah, like, show us your best.
Maybe not to the developer, maybe to the city. These are the items. Because they are the one going to present it. I mean, this is not us. Maybe to the city. So city.
Well, the city has laws, and
Yeah.
we're suggesting changing the laws and requiring a certain number of points. I don't think it's on here anymore, but I had put in here at some point, or the developer's great idea. I mean, there should be an open, in each of the 4 categories, is your suggestion that is sustainable, because obviously the world changes, right? And new ideas will come
And
up.
again, within our state, again, the Hilton Head, Bluffton area, all public lighting has to be shot down, and not up in the sky.
Right.
And so you can see beautiful night skies
Right.
throughout the area. But that should be available.
Yeah, I don't even.
Yeah.
And I think Lowe's,
that's on
Lowe's
here.
did that, didn't they, way back when?
You didn't have light pollution on here? I assumed
No.
you had light pollution on here.
So,
Well, you gotta
and-
add light pollution.
and there's restriction
That's a good one.
on, signage to make it more attractive, and yet
Right.
businesses still made money, even though they couldn't put up a 10-foot by 12-foot neon sign. It's like,
Sure.
these are
But
the
I think
ordinance
if
we're
they
putting.
keep it down, yeah, if you,
just to make the
definitely,
place
that's
look
one
good.
of those things
Yeah.
I always.
So what we're saying, just so we don't talk about this another hour, is we're basically okay with this. You're gonna look at it. I'm gonna send you the extended one with the sort of the code-like language, if you wanna read that.
Yeah.
And next time, so go ahead and put it on the agenda, we're gonna pass a motion that essentially says, the sustainability recommends environmental guidelines for land use development with the following draft to take to city council and potentially planning.
So this should be one of
Is that what
Do
we're
we need a
saying?
motion to put that on?
We
Okay.
do, but
Yeah,
we
we
have
do.
to do it next time.
next.
No, I meant to put it as an action item in the next meeting.
So look it over and.
I can
feel free
motion to
to-
put that as, and somebody can second it.
No, we don't have to.
Okay.
But it's a good question,
Okay.
Rob. So look it over and,
No, I just did.
and we can also send it to you electronically and you can see the links. So if you want to look at the Mount Pleasant one or the Green Building Standards thing, you can look at that. Okay, thank you. Was a fair bit of work to look at all.
All right, well, thank you,
Yeah, I mean, some of these are
Dr.
interesting.
for
Offer
preparing this
smaller
document.
footprint
I really,
apartments. Yikes.
yeah.
So in doing this, I was surprised at this last reference, the South Carolina Department of Environmental Services.
Yes.
They have a link to low-impact development. And I really think that this document is what motivated or guided the Mount Pleasant group to move forward. I saw Andy the other day. He says, "Oh yeah, I know all about that. Those the low-impact development because of the water impact in the lower part of the state."
Well, thank you, Eunice and Bob and Cindy,
On to the next one.
for preparing this document, and definitely this will be discussed in our next meeting, and we'll move forward with this.
And then basically, Tony, we're gonna ask you to have us go to city council sort of immediately after that, not a month or two. So you can also ask to be on the agenda
Do an agenda item.
for the city council,
Yes.
the next city council.
Oh, that's great. Well, thanks again. And next item is discuss sending an email to Earth Forum contacts to invite the sustainability meeting and Forest Fest.
So this was just my idea. We learned last meeting that we can send an email anytime we
Yes,
want.
yes.
It's probably a bit too late because the Forest Fest is the 28th of January, but one of the people who came to the
Not January.
March.
Okay.
The Forest Fest is March 28th, 10 to 2 at the Experimental Forest. It's wonderful, and one of the people who came, Patricia Whitener, is in charge of the Forest Fest and said she would invite everybody. So I just thought we could send this flyer to everybody and say, come. And had we done this sooner, I'm sure people could have had a table and all that. It's an opportunity every March. You know, we have the October where we get all the groups together, but every March we could each have a table at the Forest Fest, potentially. So that was my initial idea, and we decided last time that we want to do the Earth Forum, and we have a date. So that's a potential thing to put in an email. And then the third thing, it was today, so we didn't go to it, but the city of Clemson has a farmer's market. It meets on Wednesdays, and today they had a meeting for anybody that wants to have a booth. You do have to pay for the booth. So I don't know, since we're a city committee, if they would give us a booth for free. I don't know that. But one idea might be, and we could either put this in the email or talk about it at the Earth Forum in October. I thought, since there's so many groups, what if we got a table, and however long the farmer's market is, let's say it's 20 weeks, everybody takes the table for 1 or 2 weeks. You know, we take it once in June and once in August, and the Forest Fest takes it once, and and the cafe takes it once, and so we sort of, everybody has a chance. Or John was talking about, what if master gardeners could answer questions? The native plant people could have native plants out and show them. So I think that would be a way to talk to some of the public who come there and have a table. So I don't know if we want to put that in an email or have that as a separate action item, but those are one of the things we learned at the Earth Forum. The Earth Forum was when we got together with all these sustainability groups. That should be all caps, by the way, because EAR, it stands for something, but no, it's my fault. I wrote it that way. But do we want to write to them and at least say, save the date for October, and don't forget,
What's
Forest Fest, come, it's in 2 weeks, and would you like to consider having a table? Or do we not?
When is exactly Forest Fest?
28th of March, 10 to 2.
So can you send us that flyer again? Or
And
where's
where
it
is
at?
it? It's in the
You click
Experimental
into
Forest.
Google Forest Fest Clemson, and you'll get to it.
Okay. I think all these are good ideas. I'd say also, the city may already have a table at the farmer's market. They don't.
At the farmer's market.
I think the Chamber of Commerce has one. I don't think the city has one.
No, every now and then, if there's something being promoted, The city will have one. We had one for input for the Abernathy Park when we were gathering information there.
Yeah, I just thought if the city had one, then we could just
Yeah, they don't have a
go and
standing one.
use it.
No, and I don't know if the farmer's market, maybe I should have done more research, would charge us for a table. It seems like this would be a public service and we should get a free table, but I don't know how that works. And I could have gone to the meeting today and I didn't, so. But when I thought of this idea, this was before all, I mean, obviously the Forest Fest is in 2 weeks and the meeting was today, so maybe it's a thing for later, but,
The Girl Scouts are doing a table at the Forest Fest. They contacted Patricia Whitener.
okay, great.
So they're gonna take the
Thanks, great.
NWF to the
That's
Forest
great.
Fest. I can ask Brian at the chamber about the table. I think I may have asked him before, and I think he said that
It's March
we had to
29th,
pay,
not the 8th.
that the table had to be paid for, but I think it could be one at a time. Because I think the way they do some of it is you have to pay for it for the whole season.
Right, that's right.
Yeah,
I have it.
but I can ask Brian again.
Yeah, if the chamber has a table there, maybe they'd be willing to.
And I don't know if any of the other groups want to go to the farmer's market. I have no idea. And I can tell you, I don't want to go every week. That's not
Well,
something
it
I
sounds like a
would
good idea to me, if
Yeah.
all the groups.
if they
would go
wanted
together,
to. But
yeah.
it was more an email to ask them, would this, write me back if you're interested. Somebody has this list of all their email addresses?
I do.
Yeah.
I think Shelley has it too.
I was thinking of Shelley as writing this email, but she's not here. She's in Spain. But do you think that's a good idea, sending out an email?
For some reason, I thought she was going to send one out.
Not,
Talk about a save the date for October.
we did talk about it, but I don't know whether she did or not. We can go back and confirm that. We did talk about it, that we
Yeah,
should-
that's why I put it
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
agenda.
so we did talk about sending email to all the, because we also said that we should inform them, I think we can send email regarding our meetings to them.
So who wants to take the lead on that? It will not be Bob and I because we're preparing
Yeah.
this, so it has to be somebody.
So, what, to send emails?
To send an email to the contacts, do you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll go and look at it and see
I
that.
think you could write the email and send it to Tony, or you and Shelley. You can email Shelley back and forth.
Yeah, I'll ask Shelley to, she can drop and she can, since she's the main contact
I
last
don't
time.
know.
And she was she was the one who did last time, so both of us were there actually.
But there's no like Bob and I email each other.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no prohibition. You can't email the whole committee. But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
and
but
Shelley can
individual.
email and work out a draft.
Okay,
And we decided last time, you don't have to have it, the city doesn't have to look at it first. It can just be an email.
it can be, it's just simple, first of all, we should invite them to come to these meetings, so they can, as an
Well,
audience.
just give them the next
Yeah,
date
yeah,
is
next date,
X.
yeah, and come and
forum.
attend this and the forum. Did we decide on the date?
We did, it's in the minutes.
Okay, yeah. I think so, yeah, October, yes, it was.
October 14th.
Yeah,
So write that here.
yes, October 14th, yeah, for this one.
And then the Forest Fest is March
March
28th.
20th. About the,
And the farmer's market starts in,
I don't know about the having table or somebody manning that table, I don't know about that, who would do that, and how it's going to.
well, the idea was to send an email to them, would you all be interested in sharing a table at the farmer's market? Everybody takes a week. And if no one is interested and writes back, then it's dead, right? But if 6 groups say, yeah, great idea, then we could pursue it. That was my idea. But maybe it's too late this year.
Probably it's too early.
Okay.
Yeah, too late, yeah.
That's fine, then
I
leave
think,
that
yeah,
out.
at least we need to have a couple of, from the beginning of January to have that. All right, this is good.
So we're gonna hold off on, we're holding off on that?
She's gonna send an email.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha. Sorry.
I'm going to
Thank
connect
you.
with Shelley and, we'll,
Gotcha, thank you.
All right, next item is urban and parkland management report. Tony, it's your.
Okay, guys, it's been a busy month. The guys have been really hopping, getting a lot done. Wanted you to know that the new dog park is open. There wasn't a grand opening or anything like that, but we were getting a lot of questions about it. And we discussed it with Ethan, stormwater manager, and we were able to open it after we protected the little tree in there. The guys have been mulching, just hit another couple of spots a day trying to get this done before they're out there with lawnmowers and weed eaters and aren't able to do any of these projects. Parking lot at 12 miles continuing to get the paint. Spring rowing has started. It's going really well. They're picking up after themselves. They've been really good guests again this year. And we're working on new signage with Allie and Sarah and Lindsay Newton. The signs look great. They look like City of Clemson using these colors in the Pantone. And so they're not gonna be the brown 1970s Army Corps of Engineer look, which is great, but it all looks the same. So it'll look more like a city park. There will be more directional signage in there. There will be, all the signs will be bilingual. So it's a great addition to the park.
What's the two languages?
Spanish and English. A lot of our park folks are Spanish speaking folks. Was able to get the spider lift out, the new spider lift out a couple of times. So I've been getting really high up in the air with that thing. And so we've been taking care of some projects with that. I'm starting to get the hang of being 50 feet in the air.
Probably got a harness, yeah?
Yeah, I have a harness
Yeah,
and
you gotta have
all that
harness.
stuff, but you know, your mind does play tricks on you when you
Totally.
get that high. And
Yeah.
it's different than just standing there in a platform. You run a chainsaw at that height. It really increases the level of anxiety, but
Totally.
I'm starting to get the hang of it, and it's a really great tool to have. And we're able to do things now that we would have to request Public Works to come do. So that's been a really great addition. In fact, we were able to remove 4 cryptomeria trees that were hit by a car crash and caught on fire.
Oh, wow.
And it burned those trees, and they've been standing there for a little while because we can't drop them in the road, obviously. But with that lift, I was able to set up on frontage road, reach over the fence, and drop it bit by bit.
Nice.
So that makes it safer for
Where was the
everyone.
exact location?
Mhm.
Where was the exact location? Where you did it?
Frontage
Frontage
road,
road, yeah, but near
kind of
the.
right across from the United Methodist Church.
Okay, yeah, it was church, okay.
A couple of the guys have been working on the 93-123 interchange. There was a lot of invasive material underneath those crepe myrtles on either side. And the guys have gone through there and clipped all of them by hand and treated each little individual stub. So it's very time consuming. So they've done a great job on that.
What's the invasive plant?
The main one out there, Rob, was Russian olive or Elaeagnus, which is it was a shrub that was brought over here by someone who thought it was a nice shrub, and now it is everywhere. And it's very thorny. In the shade, it acts like a vine and will climb up a tree to reach the light. It is a nasty, nasty thing.
Huh.
So that's the main one that they've been taking down in there.
It's a survivor.
It is a survivor, brother, yeah, as most invasives are. And then all of the turf spraying of the areas, all the turf areas have been done real quickly. Skate park is open. The construction fence has been moved. There's 30, 40 people out there. Anytime you go out there, it is
amazing.
mobbed. It's great.
They're just coming constantly.
Yes, yeah, endless wave
Yeah.
of skaters. And the landscaping is continuing, but they've mostly got everything buttoned in. And the skaters are being very cautious about the plant material, which is great. I think by Thursday, we will have the water line to the garden reconnected. We've been using a water tank out there, and during the growing season, my guys were filling water tank up 3 times a week. It's about 900 gallons of water that they were toting back and forth. So it'll be great to have the water line hooked up this week. We're finished with the garden registration for this year. We had 3 new gardeners. We've been meeting with them, going over garden procedures, so I'm glad to have them on board. We went through the project estimate review for the Abernathy Park, and I think we're going to have one more of those, so that review is not necessarily complete. The contractor that is installing the large trees downtown in the structured cells submitted the the soil that they will be using for that, and we were able to take that soil to the extension service and have them test it, and it came back with a little bit of a acidic pH, so we're going to be liming that soil, but the soil looks really good. Budgeting, submitted the budget, it's in, and then this Friday I'll be meeting with administration for that first presentation with them, and then the next step will be to take it to council. I am asking for a ride-on blower. I think I mentioned to you guys that we're blowing around 15 miles of sidewalks and trails and parking lots, so that would help us a lot. And I'm also asking for an arborist other than myself. Like I keep saying, it's hard to serve 2 masters. I can't be in the office and in the field at the same time, and I'm more in the office now. So having someone out there every day with risk assessment and pruning cycles and soil tests and all this stuff is really, really important for us right now. Was able to purchase 15 new trash cans for 12 Mile, which is huge because some of these trash cans have been there seemingly since the 1970s, and they have holes in the bottoms of them, and squirrels get up in there and drag the trash. So when you go to empty the can, you have to spend 30 minutes picking up the trash that was in the can to empty the can. So these trash cans are, they look like just Oscar the Grouch trash cans, but they're heavy gauge, and so they're kind of pricey. They're like almost $200 a trash can. So it was a pretty big purchase, but we're purchasing 15 out of the 70 that are out there. So we should be able to take care of most of those issues. Last but not least, the green infrastructure. We had our final workshop yesterday. I did include the recommendation to include these environmental guidelines. I didn't give specifics. It was just the general idea to include some sustainable guidelines for low-impact development in that document. So hopefully, if I would love to be able to send him a final draft that could be included in his final report, because, like I said, the comprehensive plan is great as an overall viewpoint, like you said, 30,000-foot view, but we need strategies to make this happen, and that green infrastructure plan is a strategy that will have multiple strategies and goals for different ways that we can protect and conserve our green infrastructure. And I thought this was huge. I think this plays into it perfectly. So thank y'all for that idea.
So you have a timeline for getting this report?
The report, I'm not sure, but I can email Matt, but don't want to add pressure to finalizing the document.
Yeah, just a month or more, or?
It'll probably be a month or so, I would say, because he has a lot to put together. One thing I did want to mention, we're having a tree giveaway on March 27th at Nettles Park from 4 to 6. You can register with Trees Upstate, all native trees. I think you can get up to 3 trees, and then if you stick around at the end, they'll have a lottery, and you can get more than 3 trees. If there's always trees left over. So you guys think about it.
And the last time I think you just went and asked, they gave them to you.
They're pretty good size. Some of them range from like this to, some of them are 6 feet tall. Different varieties of oaks and maples and bald cypress and black gum.
27th, you said?
Pawpaws,
Yeah, pawpaws, March the 27th.
sourwood.
Yep.
Yeah, sourwood.
And the rest of it, I think, is just to be continued.
I was exploring trails in Nettles Park the other day, and it looked like, I mean, I haven't been out there forever, so either a dozer or something had gone through, it looked like cleared quite a swath. So is that an ongoing project, or just as the weather permits, or?
The original trail, our staff did it with a Bobcat.
Okay.
And what we did is we just went around the timber line because the interior is a clear cut. And we stayed just inside of the hardwoods and created that trail so that we could go in there and look at what we had, because we were doing a master plan for Nettles Park at the time. But it did, in essence, create trails that we can walk. I walk them almost every day. I call my mom, like, hey, Mom, walking the trails, and I tell her about all the animals and things I see. What else is happening back there off of Porter Road is the art center is going to be constructed on top of that crown.
Okay.
So what you probably are seeing is some of that initial grading and clearing for that project, because they had to do some coring for the structured soils and all that stuff. So.
A lot of things going on.
Yes.
Yes. And,
Thank you, guys.
yeah, thank you, Tony, for your report, and lots of things to look forward to go and check it out as weather is getting warmer. Open discussion, any new business? We don't have any.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.